back, folks. Me, Phil Terrell. You're watching part 2 of the Mega Man 4 Let's Play. Now we're going to take on Ringman, and Ringman is, his level is a little bit difficult, but the boss himself is not super duper duper difficult. So Ringman, and his track is also very amazing too. But Ringman's data card says a tool created to terminate Mega Man. His weapon is shaped like a ring. Hence its name, I imagine. Expect no mercy, Mega Man. A good point, he's a good strategist. Bad point, he's too confident. Likes, Det Quiot, I don't know what that means. And then he dislikes children. I guess he hates kids. I do not understand the likes. Anyways, let's get back to the level. So, the little rainbow bridges there, they will retract from where you start. So, try to jump in the middle and run. That way you get a little bit of a head start. Now, this boss right here, the giant hippo on this lift, you can take out the platform it's on, so you get a few more hits, or get lower down your level, that way you can hit it. It will shoot missiles. The missiles you can take out, so if you can just avoid or take them out, you can, avoid that damage altogether. The hippo's not too super difficult. The other kind of like sub-boss of this level, which is very much like a ringy boss, which we'll talk about that here in a minute, but these little planet ring orb bots, whatever you want to call them, just shoot them a few times. So this boss right here, you kind of got to get into a rhythm of sorts, and I'm going to be very, very horrible at my timing here, but if you can charge up your Mega Buster and hit them a few times, it'll be easy, but you have to have good timing. Fortunately, I don't have good timing. I'm messing up my shots. But I imagine if it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 jump and then shoot, you'll get it. That's what I was trying to do, but I messed that up. We're going to get another hippo right here. So one more mini boss after another. Shoot the platform, and then just start laying on the damage on the hippo, and then you'll be okay. So just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, and then you'll take out the hippo very, very good. Now, get the slider up here, and we'll be introduced. I think this will be our first time seeing Eddie, I think. So, use the rush coil, go up here, and we'll be introduced to Eddie. Now, Eddie in Mega Man 4, it will throw you items from very, I wouldn't say useless. All the items are kind of useful, depending on your predicament. He'll throw weapon energy, or he'll throw life energy, or he'll throw an extra life, or he'll even throw you an E-tank. Now, if you don't like the item, just simply leave the room without picking up the item, and when you come back, Eddie will be reset, and you'll get a fresh new item. As long as you don't pick up the item and he doesn't teleport, you should be fine. So just make sure you're aware of that. I think here I'm going to die, actually. No, I was thinking I was going to die here. Something makes me think I'm going to die right here. That was a dumb mistake right there. I guess when I unpaused it, I was thinking the platform was there, and I just really wasn't paying attention. But I could just use the balloon right there to create a platform. That's the item we got in Pharaoh Man's level. Let's continue on, and then we will be even closer to Ringman. I think we got like one more room or 2 more rooms before we get to Ringman. So, but we're almost there. Let's defeat this last mini boss right here. I'd like to, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jump shoot, and then you should be able to get it. That's how I've done it, and it seems to work. I just didn't have the timing on the very first one. So slide down here, and then we'll be at Ringman. Now, Ringman's weakness is the Pharaoh shot. Now, Pharaoh shot is interesting to me, because you can charge it up very much like the Mega Buster. You can chunk it in 8 directions, up, down, left, right, and then the diagonals. You can charge up and throw it. Now, for some reason, if you get hit when you're charging up the Pharaoh shot, you'll still have it in your arm or above your head in a way. You can just chunk it. So when you get hit, as long as you're holding the charge button, you'll still have it. And you can chunk it. So it's kind of cool in that regard. It's actually it's a very, very useful weapon, because we actually use it to hurt the final boss in this game. But with that, we defeat Ringman, and then we will get Ring Boomerang. And I guess I didn't really talk about that boss fight, but just do your best to avoid the ring. It will come back to Ringman, and then just, avoid it, and then just chunk Pharaoh shot at him, and he'll die really quickly, especially if it's charged up. So the next boss fight we're going to take on is Dustman. And Dustman, his level is a little bit tricky, but it's not too difficult. I think really Dustman. The level's more, well, nah, he's kind of difficult in his own way because his projectile. But the level is a little bit tricky because it's very much a, if you're not paying attention, you will die kind of level. So let's look at Dustman. And also another fantastic track. So, Dustman, a cleaner robot. He hates to have his mouth choked. Oh, man. Don't let me suck more than I can. Oh, dear God. I might just have to, Okay, good point. Big appetite. Bad point. Bad breath. Like, spring cleaning. Likes, mice. I feel like I'm going to have to just screenshot that and post it there so everybody just knows I'm not joking about that. But anyways, let's go ahead and fight, get through here. So these these robots that jump, they will hurt a lot if they touch you. So either avoid them or just go ahead and slide underneath them. These platforms will form, so make sure you let them form up. As long as the four are touching, they'll make the platform, I believe. I don't think you have to wait for all of it. Yeah, never mind. I just proved myself wrong there. You can jump as long as the platform has those two on top. You should be fine. And then just be very careful about these ladybug-looking robots. They're a little bit tricky to kill, especially when they're lower, because they'll only go up or down. They won't really shoot at you. They just tend to get in the way. Eddie's right here. Let's see what I get. I don't need that, so let me go ahead and retreat. And then we go back up here and see if Eddie will shoot me a different item. Life energy. Perfect. Let's just keep on going. So that's a neat little trick there. If some people don't know, that's how you can make Eddie just a tiny bit more useful in Mega Man 4. And I think all the other Mega Man games, he doesn't do that. So this is only unique to Mega Man 4. Probably when I play Mega Man 5 or 6, I'll show it, but you won't get a new item, or I think Eddie won't actually appear again. So you'll just lose out on the item he gave you in the first place. One thing here to shoot these blocks, if you charge up a Mega Buster, it will shoot through all the blocks until it off screens, like what you saw right there. If you need to get out, just slide. Remember, slide is a lot faster than running, so you'll be able to get in narrow passages and then speed out of the way a lot quicker. So just check out this robot, continue on, and we'll be really close to Dustman. I think we got like maybe a few more rooms, like 3 more rooms, or maybe it's the room right above, and then we'll be done. But his level's not super difficult, and I don't think it's super long either. It's one of the levels that are on the shorter end. So just avoid this, just keep going, or you can just take it out if you want. Shouldn't need to. But hey, life energy is life energy. Now, you're going to want to use Ring Boomerang on Dustman. Dustman is a little bit difficult because whenever he's trying to suck you into him, you can't hurt him. And his weapon, the Dust Crusher, at first it is easy to avoid, but when it gets close to you, it will explode and will go in 4 directions. So you kind of got to jump over it, directly right over it. But as you see, a Ring Boomerang takes him apart really easy, and that's his pattern right there. I don't think he actually tried to suck me in that one, in that particular boss battle, but the rematch he will do that. So with that, we'll get the Dust Crusher, and Dust Crusher has a little bit utility with some enemies, specifically the more passive enemies. And when I say passive, I mean the enemies that tend to follow along the ground, like I think they're chainsaw blades in this game. But we'll get into my second favorite robot master here, Skullman. Now, the interesting thing about Skullman, and I found this out recently, and I want to like to think it's true, but apparently they had an 8th robot master that was different than Skullman. And because the developers liked Skullman's design so much, they decided to scrap the level they had designed for that other robot master they had, and they redesigned it entirely from scratch because they love the design of Skullman. I gotta say, Skullman's pretty impressive looking. I like the way he looks, but he doesn't beat Pharaoh Man in my opinion. And his track is so freaking good. I love this track. Okay, anyways, enough gushing over Skullman. Alright, Skullman's data card says a well-balanced combat robot. He is only good for fighting. Now, let's get ready to rumble. Good point, bone idle. Bad point, bad taste. It's because bones probably taste bad, maybe. He likes horror movies. I wonder why. And dislikes beefcake. Okay. I don't quite get that, but it is what it is. Those robots with the shields on their face, you have to jump over them, hit them from behind. Bats, of course, you can shoot them if you want. I'd like to think they drop energy pellets at an increased rate, but it's kind of cool, kind of neat that they do that. I'm gonna go ahead and reset Eddie. One interesting thing about Skullman is that the background with the dinosaur, I think they reused it in Freeze Man's level in Mega Man 7, which is kind of cool. At least that's what I feel like. Okay, next try. Thank you, Eddie. But Skullman's level has two paths. You can keep going up or go to the right. I'm going to choose to go up. I want to say that the upper path has more valuable items. You can't shoot those tanks from behind. You have to shoot them in the eyeball. So just shoot it, continue on, and then shoot the caterpillar in that tank, and now be good to take them out. More caterpillars here, and I want to go for that E tank here. Now you're probably wondering, well, Phil, that looks a little bit tricky. How are you going to do this? We're going to use those balloons. If you have the balloons, it'll make this so much more easier. You don't have to do tricky jumps. So right there, that would be a very tricky jump, because if you hit your head, you'll neuter your jump and you won't be able to make it to the other side. You'll fall to your doom. But with the balloon, you can just use that as a platform and continue on. Go ahead and grab the energy tank, and we'll continue on here. Just slide and hold right, and you'll make through that gap. And then right here, I'm a little bit paranoid. I'm thinking something's going to come out of there, but I want to get up here to the top and just continue on to the right, avoid the caterpillars, and just take them out and enjoy the music that is Skullman's level. This track is so good. I want to say this is probably my second favorite track in the game. The other one is Cossack 2's castle theme. Dr. Cossack's castle theme, the second one. That one's so good. So freaking good. Anyways, you can shoot these skeletons, which are pellets. They will fall apart, but if you shoot them with a fully charged Mega Buster, they will die, they will disappear. So shoot that, or you can just shoot them with one pellet, and then they can just walk away, or they just fall apart, and then you can just take walk past them, not take them out. So we're going to use the Dust Crusher to take out Skullman. Skullman's not a particularly hard boss, but he can be a little bit tricky with his weapon, the Skull Barrier. So his Skull Barrier weapon will deflect shots, so you can't hurt him when you use his Skull Barrier, but he'll also shoot little pellets at different elevations. He might shoot in the middle, he might shoot up, so you need to make sure that you watch your jumps and then just watch his pellets. But otherwise, Skullman's not a very difficult boss. And his weapon, Skull Barrier, is not super useful. It has a few applications. You can run while you have it active, but it can only take one hit before it disappears. So we got Skull Barrier. So Mega Man just turns a lighter shade blue, and it's a little bit neat. So now we're going to go and take on Dive Man. Dive Man's going to be the second to last Robot Master. He also has another extra support item, the grapple hook. That's what I call it, but I think it's just a hook weapon. But another great track. I like Dive Man's track as well. Now those little chainsaw things that are down there on the floor, you can actually take those out with the Dust Crusher. So that would be nice to know for Cossack's level. So make sure that you have that information and you don't forget it. So continue on to the right. Just avoid these little little things that will crash into you. The mentals here, they will jump and float, so just be aware of that. They're a little bit annoying if you miss hitting them the first time, and I'm going to let that bother me. Try not to jump above and come in through the screen from the top. There's some sections that are going to have spikes that are on flotation devices, and you don't want to go into the next screen and just die from a gotcha kill. That's what I call it. Be very careful here. Bait the second one, jump over it, land safely over here, and then just jump up here. Remember, when you're underwater, your jumps are a lot more higher. So here, I'm going to go ahead and take what Eddie gives me. That's a big health pellet. So we'll be back to almost full health, and we can continue the fight. Here, again, you can take this robot out or just bait it and just slide underneath it. I'm just going to take it out. Go down. There's nothing down here, I don't think. So go down. We'll be in the water one more time. And then we'll have to fight another submarine here. I didn't talk about that submarine before, but I'll go ahead and talk about the next one. The Stingray is a little bit difficult to hit when they're in their very small sprite form. Just be very careful here. If not, just slide through. Now, the well tanks, just keep shooting them. Avoid the torpedoes. They will go down relatively quick. Again, go from the bottom. Don't go from the top. And then drop down right here. It looks like it's a bomb pit, but just be very, very careful about the spikes. You'll land towards the bottom. As long as you be careful, you'll be good. This is a very useful item in the castle, so make sure you grab the wire. I guess that's what it is. It's the wire, not the hook. So awesome, we get it. We teleport out, but the unfortunate thing is they don't refill our health. Oh, never mind. I lied. So go ahead and continue. Go to the right. We'll have to again fight. I think we'll have to fight that submarine mini boss again, but that's okay. The wire weapon is so totally worth it. Woo! I almost made it. So just charge up your Mega Buster, let it go, and just start shooting it with pellets, and then you should be okay. And then again, just make it force a habit. Just drop down and land from the bottom. Avoid the hole. Don't drop down it again. I don't think there's nothing else down there you can get. So just avoid it. The bomb will get the depth charge will get blinky. It will go off when you get close enough to it, or when you shoot it. I forget which one. But here, do not let those platforms fool you. There will be platforms on the next one, so don't jump so high as you see there. It's very possible that I could over jump that and landed and smacked myself into the spike and killed myself. Now, Dive Man is going to be the next robot master we're going to fight. The Skullberry is very tricky to hit him with because you have to kind of get really close to him and then use it. So he'll dive towards you or rush towards you like a torpedo because he looks like a submarine. He'll also use his his dive missile, which if you have the Skullberry on, you can totally neuter his weapon. Ooh, is it going to be really close? Okay, yeah, we'll take him out. So you see there, Skullberry is a very tricky weapon to kill him with, but it's very possible to do it with. But he hurts a lot if he touches you. But with that, we'll get Dive Missile, and that's the end of Dive Man. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't even talk about Dive Man, did I? But I'll talk about Dive Man in the next part. Unfortunately, I forgot about Dive Man, but I won't forget him in the next part, folks. But I'll catch you in the next one later, and bye.